You've made such progress moving us toward an Order Anti's Choice alliance. Everything seems to be going according to the plan so far. But we approach a critical juncture. When you go in to speak with the presiding bishop, please raise the issue with her. I assure you this is the correct thing to do. For yourself, for us, for Arcadia. If you continue working for the Order alone, it will likely burn any possible bridge with Anti's Choice. So this is our last and only chance. Farewell. I would say good luck, but I put no stock in chance, only probability. May the plan favor us against long odds.
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart. A bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. Faith is trust without evidence. You deserve far more than that. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Bassar, third presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, supreme calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future. I admit, when I sent my initial message, I did not exactly know who its recipient would be. But I trusted the plan, and lo and behold, it provided you as the solution. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. If your actions were so easily imitable, then we would not be speaking right now. Accept the credit. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. It's recently come to my attention that secret communications have been exchanged between Laplace's garden and the undisputed claim. Do you know anything about that? I should have known. Vicar Levin has made this appeal to me at least thrice since his return. He really cannot accept a solution he did not devise. Were it so easy, delegates would not have been required prior to now. Don't feel ashamed. Not even my own laureates can move me on certain matters. I will speak with Levin and tell him to cease all transmissions with the undisputed claim immediately. The Order does not require a corporation's help to win this war. But now, let us move on from this discussion. The archive remains at the forefront of my mind, as it must be on yours, or else you would not be here. Walk me through your plan, then. Once the data is processed, what then? And so it may, but perhaps we are putting the solution before the problem. Until the Order has control over the archive again, this discussion is all but moot. Charmingly put. But yes, I do. Any way I interpret the numbers, it is obvious the plan brought you here to deliver the archive out of Protectorate subjugation and back into Order hands. But before we go further, you should be aware, by aligning yourself with us in this matter, Auntie's Choice will almost assuredly see you as a threat to their interests. Are you prepared to accept that consequence? Nobly put. But Auntie Cleo made herself an enemy of all Arcadia when she sent her forces into our colony. Do not assign yourself guilt for what we must do in response. Let us now discuss the particulars of what will be required to reclaim the archive. Fortunately, I have given this some thought, and already have a strategy in place. First, Order forces must move into our former headquarters at Spyreton. A simpler task now that you have liberated it. By all accounts, you thoroughly routed the enemy. Well done. More importantly, there is a lift located in Spyreton which can deliver our troops into the archive to assist you against the Protectorate. Unlocking and calling that lift can only be done from within the archive, however. So you will need to infiltrate the archive by alternate means, via a bridge connected to Newton. Fortunately, I am told you already dealt with the cultists there. Unfortunately, you will still need to find a way past a small rift currently blocking the bridge. A prudent course of action, though I would also advise caution. Praetor is as perilous as Cloister, if not more so, given the Protectorate's presence there. There is a computronical key that you will also need to locate within the archive called the Calcaduceus. The Calcaduceus grants special access to the archive. Once it is back in Order hands, we will have full control over its systems once more. Nothing more is writ on my chalkboard at the moment. Undoubtedly. All the more reason to adhere to the plan of taking Spyreton and moving Order troops into position. Exemplars will accompany you in any direct assault on Spyreton. But to increase our chances of success and minimize casualties, might I recommend a more indirect approach? Take this access card. It opens a discreet side entrance on the western side of Spyreton, just past a collapsed portion of the outer wall. Once inside, it may be possible to divert power from the Protectorate's turrets via a nearby terminal. The same card should grant you access to the building housing the terminal. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
Failed to cite her work completely. I worked with presiding Bishop Orlo, you know. Now there was a serious scientician.
Yeah!
Prisoner 349899393A. There is no place for you in the paradigm.
Combatant observed.
You are hereby sentenced to death for the crimes of desertion and opposing the lawful authority of the Protectorate.
No! Wait, I beg of you! I was just afraid of Montelli! He's taken leave of his mental faculties! His way is no longer that of the Sovereign! Why can't you see that?
Quiet, traitor. At least honor the Sovereign by dying with a modicum of dignity. Were I not better informed, I'd assume you were Andy's choice.
Disruptive influences!
I shall reduce them to a slurry!
Check your scopes for combatant analysis. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Tale of those
war-bred monstrosities, but these facilities are alone. We must pull back. Return with no less than a support battery.
Wardens do not retreat, nor take any ignoble action. I shall excuse your cowardice
Combatant
by way
scan.
of shock. Whether we are destined to succeed or die, we shall do what is required of us. We will not falter.
Marchand. On field reports. In the event we don't survive.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire.
I shall not stay your execution.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Stun weapon ready, Commander. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Combatant torpificator at ready status.
Gunfire has ceased. Is there any way Ames and Marchand could have... I'm sorry, LaRue. They died in the service of the Protectorate. Stop. Breathe. Then we shall press on. You surprise me. We cannot complete this mission and yet live. And should we live to see it through, your wife shall meet her end. Yet, your resolve remains unshaken. Any less would disgrace the Sovereign. Disgrace us all. Shoulder your rifle. We shall press on and see this mission to its completion. That noise doesn't sound like... Oh, blast! Hand me my rifle! My rifle!
Taking punitive action.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
To battle! Ready to dispense them! Commander, stop dying at once!
Combatant scanned.
Mediating! Lethally!
Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
At your word, I shall
one of my lungs meets the open air, LaRue fell swiftly. Screamed for me to help, but if I had remained to aid her, the mission would be at its end. The mission which is now doomed regardless. I arrived here to find the controls non-functional. Since my weapon delivers magnetically contained electric charges, I inserted it into a conduit hoping it would spring to life, but the Fairfield power controls have deteriorated. I wish I could admit relief that in my heart of hearts I wished my love to live, despite her traitorism. My darling, I am sorry. But were you here, I would use the last of my strength to slay you. Our feelings are not even a candle to the incandescent love of the Sovereign. Our blood, my blood, for the Protectorate. Signing off.
I recall this place. These stations have been automated since my day, though this one has certainly accrued dust. Odd that it would be in a state of lockdown. I have a general override that should allow us entry, but anything specific to local systems, including security systems, may be beyond me. These security measures should not be operational. And the station seems to be on reserve power. We best tread carefully. Your vitals look grim, Commander.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
No one is here, lying in ambush. Perhaps some stray systemic error activated the entryway defenses. We'd best first report to security ops. Lift this lockdown. From there, we can set about reactivating the station's primary power, which will allow us to explore unhindered. Is that a footprint in the dust? This station shouldn't have received visitors in years. Be on guard. Someone else may be here. My passcode shall not work on this. Good effort lifting the lockdown. We may now reactivate the station in the reactor room. The reactor activation circuits shall likely be dysfunctional. It's a known issue with these old stations. Let me look. Corroded transistors, dust in the actuator. Did a sprat gnaw on this? Sweet sovereign, what a mess. There. I think I have it. Let us hope my override does not trigger any security alerts. Good. This should avail us of a much simpler search. Let us return to the central room once more and see if anything seems out of place.
None shall stand against us!
Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Be wary for anything that may be a clue as to the hidden room's location. I cannot say I have had to search for a hidden switch in a Protectorate holding before. Keep watch. It could be rather small and well hidden. There. I'm certain of movement below.
Passcode is limber. No. Let's try amulet. No. Wingtip. No. Sovereign's gavel. I should remember this. Damn it. Ambergris can't be it. That's too short for a facility like this. Wait. Oh, no.
Of the strategies of feigning innocence I have seen, this is certainly the most pathetic. I accuse you of trespassing upon the private domain of the Sovereign. For these crimes... Wait, I know you. Luther Okada? What in blazes are you doing here? And why do you wear a Sub Rosa uniform?
Because I work for Sub Rosa? More than that, I don't think I can say, Cadet Rao. Mostly because I'm not supposed to, but also because I can't remember.
I knew this man when I was still a cadet. Okada is, or was, a petty troublemaker, though a crafty one. As cadets, Virgil and I apprehended him often. Sometimes Virgil let him go, but he usually went to mental refreshment.
Often enough to know the technicians by name. Until I forgot them again.
This truly is no ploy. But mental refreshment is supposed to return wayward subjects to the proper path, not cause... whatever this is. Despite his faults, the Okada I knew was ultimately benign. But the fact remains that he now trespasses in a secure facility. Duty dictates that I must execute him. His looks matter not. Okada was once a Protectorate citizen. A Protectorate citizen he remains. Treating him accordingly may even be more than he deserves. I act on the Sovereign's authority, and the Sovereign's authority is absolute throughout Arcadia. That's a wise path. One that shall give me time to contemplate what must be done.
An arbiter used the word execute in the last few seconds, yet I remain alive? Didn't think that was possible. I was sent here to do a specific job, but some of the details are hazy. Gives me conniptions.
I can try. Okada, I'm sympathetic of your plight. But my sympathy alone will not avail me of my duty. I require a foolproof reason to allow you to live.
Seems I'm reduced to bargaining for my life. Wouldn't have been in this predicament if it weren't for my blasted brain pan. Fine. I was hired by an anonymous third party. They provided me with the station's location and credentials to bypass its defenses. May have tripped a few on my way here. Can't recall. I was told the station was abandoned, which it clearly isn't, and to break into this terminal and delete the information on it. That is all I know. I don't even know the name of this station.
Ignorance does not excuse criminal action. Even if you did not know the severity of this infiltration, it remains a deadly serious infraction.
He and the other one must have put me away close to 12 times each. I used to be something of a ne'er-do-well.
Ne'er-do-well is a polite term. He was a repeat malefactor. I believe last time we met, he'd vandalized a janitorial automech in an attempt to make it spew profanity.
I got 18 months of hard labor for that. Served me right.
As much as I'd prefer not to admit it, you may be right. Whoever hired him must not have known about his addled mind. They were moving quickly, desperately.
I didn't used to be like this. I can still sneak with the best of them. Not being able to remember doesn't make me any worse as an agent. It doesn't.
Any of my fellow arbiters would have killed you before this conversation began. But I can't decide whether to disdain or pity you. I don't know that I can. He is a trespasser. His slipping mind matters not. You have my trust, but if I am to remain loyal to my morals, I must be convinced. I am familiar with the concept, but in the Protectorate, intent matters little. Manslaughter still results in death. Sedition can happen unconsciously, just as it may consciously. There is a difference. A murderer's family is imprisoned, whereas they are not in the case of incidental death. But I do suppose the perpetrator's punishment does not change. Though this is hardly the place for a discussion about Protectorate law, I do at least see your point. It is fortunate you have gained my trust, for I would not bend to one who had not. Justice must serve a purpose. Okada may live, and I hope we shan't regret it. Be gone. You've been granted your final stay of execution. Should our paths ever cross again, you know what will occur.
I didn't think this would happen. Thank you, Cadet Rao. My apologies for all the strife I caused over the years. And you. Without you, I would have been reduced to my composite parts. Here, take these. I suppose you'll have more use for them than I, in my present state.
Allowing a Sub Rosa agent to leave with his life in the heart of a Protectorate station. We may have to speak on this further. But let us see what we came here for first. The hint pertaining to the passcode on that terminal, I believe I know the answer. It is contained in a phrase the Supreme Arbiter drilled into our heads for many years. An Arbiter's gavel is judgment, and an Arbiter's scalpel is analysis. Try entering that. From that terminal, it sounds as if the Supreme Arbiter had some sort of business with the Council. To what end, I wonder? The tone of her response seemed relaxed, but I do not believe she would have met with the Council unless she had no other choice. And that feckless agent. I don't understand his aim or who he would be working for. Only the Council. But the Protectorate does not ally itself with Sub Rosa. It absolutely does not. I think you just have alternative luck. Well, at least we found what we needed on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I only hope whatever awaits us at Central Control is less tumultuous. As for Okada, I'm not sure what to think. My decision to allow him to go free was at odds with all I have been taught. He was a traitor and should have died. Yet, I cannot help but feel strangely justified. But he was acting against the Protectorate, even if he didn't know it. How can I act as an arbiter of justice if I allow a traitor a reprieve? To me, there cannot be. That is, there isn't. That's not possible, and I cannot afford to think of it as such. Altogether, I think visiting this station was fruitful for my ultimate task. Hopefully, we'll grow ever closer to discovering the Supreme Arbiter's true killer. And, circumstances aside, I appreciate your accompanying me here, Commander. It means much. Now let us return to the incognito and plan out our next steps.
It would appear our next stop is Praetor, specifically Central Control. I look forward to traveling there, once you've sufficiently prepared. Excellent. I look forward to it.
the foundation that anti-choice society is based on.
While the Protectorate decides what its subjects get, we respond to what you want through your decisions as consumers.
What's more, we skip the frivolously lengthy approval process our very neighbors employ. Why wait?
The story of Anti-Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A thing of legend, to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation. Spacer's choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of old corporations, who unfairly stacked the deck against the little person, as they tried with us at Tau Ceti. But did Anti-Cleo take Spacer's choice devious shenanigans lying down? No! Just like our sponsored tossball team, the Anti-Cleo's darlings refused to do what things were down at the end of the sponsorship series against the Spacers chosen.
I'm Jean Turfer Tyler, 6th base person for the Anti-Cleo's Darlings. Oh, please. Oh, hey, think you dropped something? They made a Sunday goal to win.
The recipe of our exclusive cocktail is our most closely guarded secret. Our competitors would kill to find out. Can you discern its ingredients?
Don't wait for a line to form in front of you. Availability is severely limited. Let this be the first...
You want freedom of choice. You want Auntie's choice.
Live, love, laugh, purchase, and consume
with Auntie's choice. As your peerless leader, known for her unparalleled business acumen, I might appear above the occasional frivolity. But no, I do enjoy spectating a round sporting match as much as all of you base rank and file. The big rift coming over the Tasman is from home, but our Arcadia Grove League is open.
Certainly a more profitable program than the Protectorate's watered-down
They call it. My, how imaginative. And don't get me started on their arbitrary rule changes. Bronzing is prohibited in the Tuesday and Thursday zones? Why even have the T-zones then? Oh, and sportsmanlike conduct is tolerated? That would put serious as a seat. A blood sport without blood sounds like red ink to Auntie. Our tossball teams play